our meeting to order, Winchester City Council, Tuesday, November the 8th, 2011. We'll start our meeting with prayer, and Representative Alexander is agreed to lead us in prayer.
Y'all bow with me, please. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day in our fair city. It is the place that we have chosen above all others on this earth to live our life, and we love it. We ask that you please give our elected officials your wisdom as they govern it. Thank you, Father. In Christ's name I ask. Amen.
Amen. If you'll stand, Brian Dawson's going to lead us in the pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. First item tonight, under addresses, presentations, Kiwanis Club barbecue sponsorship. Ms. Bates and
We're joined at the hip, you know that.
okay.
Good evening to you, Mayor and Council, and thank you for this time. Jeannie Bates and I are here representing the Franklin County Kiwanis Club and asking the City of Winchester for their continued support of being a co-sponsor for this year's 25th Annual High on the Hog Festival, which is always held the third weekend in April. Of course, this is the 25th year, and of course, you know we like things to get bigger and better every year. High on the Hog began 25 years ago in 1987, and I think they had 5 or 6 cooking teams that were all local. And since that time, we have grown to where we now have hopefully 54 cooking teams, and we're one of KCBS, which is the Kansas City Barbecue Society, one of their premier cooking cook-offs. And last year was not a great year for a lot of contests around the United States because of the economic turn that we've had, and they've lost sponsorships, and a lot of the events were canceled across the United States. So that's something that we always look forward to, or like to say, is we have good sponsors and we have good people in our community that help make our event special. Now we have enough space for 54 cooking teams. In the past 2 years, we've turned away teams. They start signing up, or we encourage them to start signing up as soon as they leave if they're interested in coming. Through the help of Facebook, I think that's been a help for us. And in this process, we have 65 judges and that come from all over the United States to make our event successful to our city park, and we'd like to bring more teams. And to do this, we need your help and the utility help, and that we need to have some more electrical service inside our park. We could probably put more than 10, but 10 would be our goal. And we were here tonight asking the city hall and the city utilities to help us get an upgrade in our park. Electrical issues are always the concern, and it drives many festivals crazy. Our cookers bring in big rigs that like 30 and 40, 50 amp services and all, and we have worked our problems out, but we have had problems, and but we've always seemed to manage somehow. But we were just want to make our contest grow every year, and in order to do that, we can't increase unless we get some electrical upgrade. So you have something before you that was prepared by Sonny Elliott. We met with Frankie Campbell with the utilities and Sonny and some other people that are in the barbecue world that we went down to the park and walked it and trying to figure out how we were going to be able to add more teams in. And they all tell me it's workable, but it's going to cost money, of course. So when we bring in 10 more cooking teams, that means we have to have at least 15, 16 more judges that come in and spend their money here in Franklin County, so, in Winchester. So, we've been told we could use the sawhorses, you know, from the city or the Dogwood Festival. But if we do that, there's still money involved, and that would be a temporary fix that would cost probably around $1,500 to do that. And then it would have to be taken down each year, and then of course you would incur that expense again. So we would like to see if we could talk y'all into helping us by getting an electrical upgrade, along with sponsoring us as your co-sponsor this year.
Twofold.
Twofold.
Brenda, you might go over what's included in the sponsorship for our new council.
Okay. As you each should have gotten a letter. First of all, thanking you for the support that we've had in the past 9 years. The Kiwanis Club, this will be our 10th year of organizing the contest. Brenda and I started back years ago actually cooking in it, and then we evolved into judging, and now we're organizing. So it's been a process for us, and obviously we love it or we wouldn't do it, because you know, we care about this community, and the Kiwanis Club cares about the community, and everything that we do benefits citizens of this community. And this is our biggest fundraiser, so we can't do it without the support of the city, so we do need your support. And of course, we have to use the park and the buildings that are out there in the parking areas, and we have to have the support of the police department and everybody else, and the recreation department, and everybody has to pitch in and help. So we have a list of just normally what we always ask for as far as support goes for the festival. So we ask for that as one, and again, like Brenda says, we do need an upgrade out there, because when this first started, everything that was put out there was adequate, and we didn't have a lot of 40-foot motorhomes coming out there, but now we do. So we need to go with times, and we do need, as far as safety issues go, because it's been out there for what, I don't know, 15 years or so. So they do dry rot, and they do deteriorate and all that, so we do have some issues of maintaining them and everything. So we would like, you know, for the council to help us and improve the park so that we can bring more people. And we do have a great economic impact on the community with this event. Because like I said, we do bring, well, if we add those, that'll be, you know, 64 teams, and they're coming from everywhere. And they bring 4 or 5 people with them. We bring in the judges, you know, there'll be 65 plus more. And they're staying at the hotels, and they're spending money here. And it's all at their own expense.
Right, they're not paid.
They're not paid to come here. You know, so we do make a big impact on the economy here. So we would ask that the council would help us to improve and make it a bigger and better contest.
And it would also not only just help us for High on the Hog, it will help the park in general, because there's other activities that go on down there, and more could go on in the future if they had those facilities. So we ask for that.
Brenda, what are y'all asking for in support? $4,500 to do the electrical?
Well, that's just an estimate as to what it possibly could cost. Maybe not that much, but that would be to get it up and running with ampage sufficient for running what we have now, plus to add teams.
Well, Sonny called me this afternoon, and he said if the council didn't do anything else, they needed to take care of the safety issues.
Yeah, because right now all we've got out there is 20. You know, it's all 20 amperage, and I mean they have been dealing with it and everything. But I mean, what was it, last year or year before, we blew the transformer out there, and we had to get a new transformer.
Yeah, we did get a slight upgrade.
We got an upgrade on the transformer, you know, but it's just something that's got to be done if we're going to continue to grow and have more teams out there within the big motorhomes. Because once they kick on the refrigerators and the air conditioners and everything else, or the heaters, it could be either or.
Yeah, they come prepared for everything when they come to Winchester.
Well, I'm looking at this $4,500 down here, and knowing from experience, volunteered out there. As we all know, anytime we have a festival in Winchester or Franklin County, it rains at some point. And if, far back as I can remember, some points during this festival, there's always people out there in the rain trying to flip breakers, running extension cords. And $4,500 here is a lot cheaper than us having to settle a lawsuit if somebody getting electrocuted, having to replace something that caught on fire. I mean, it kind of sounds like maybe something we've overlooked for quite some time. I mean, I know there's some question where the money would come from in the budget.
You'll have to do a budget amendment.
Do we know how much it would, just the cost to create, to fix the safety issues would be? Do we have any idea? No idea what that would be.
Well, I have a little insight. We were out there and to get it, like we said, to where we could add some teams and do this safety for on a temporary basis. It would be just temporary because they would have to put up temporary service and run lines. And they told me 15 to 2,000.
But that would be a cost you'd incur every year.
Yes, because it would have to come down afterwards. Now, the transformer that's in the back closest to the stage is got enough, from what I understand, to help the area in the back. It was from an upgrade that we got when we blew the one up. And so it would, I think it will carry the backside.
So what are the safety issues? I mean, the fact of
The 20
not
amp
having proper
that we've got out
amperage
there,
and-
Yeah, we've got 20 amp service out there, and most of these motorhomes need, what, 40, 30, 40, and 50.
Well, I think too, we're not knowledgeable enough to answer that. Frankie Campbell met with us and he saw some of the issues. And of course, Sonny was there. And the reason we asked Sonny is basically because he's helped us in upgrading our clubhouse. So we've sort of, he's on our speed dial. If something goes wrong, I call him and say, hey, I got to have some help down here at the park, you know. And normally he comes instantly or he sends someone. So he's sort of like a volunteer for us on some things.
From my understanding, Mayor, what it is over the years, people have spliced and added and reworked. You know, it's just kind of been amended to the point. It's kind of like having a car you bond up to the point you just got to do something with it. That's my understanding of it. From what
You overload the wires for the size wire it is.
Okay. Roger, do you have any comment on what they're proposing and safety and what the minimum needs to be done? And
I haven't been involved in it a lot. I think what I would like is just a little bit of time. I mean, we've got some time between now and spring when we do this, and just go back and relook at the whole thing. And obviously, we'll do it at the cheapest cost that we can from the material standpoint, and bring some people in there and let me come back with a proposal with some different ideas. I think it'd probably be the best thing to do, if that's okay.
okay. I mean, is that reasonable?
That's very reasonable. Our thing would be is that we are going to be putting out our information pretty quick, and if we're
Need
going
for
to be
your
able
teams.
to add those teams, we want to be able to say so. Because what happens is the more teams you have, you fall into a different category. You have to have more reps, you have to have more judges. It affects a lot of things, so we just can't just keep hanging on and then wait till, you know, this is in April, but we have to know before
And
then.
not only that, we tell when we address the teams, we tell them, you can plug into this plug or that plug.
But I mean,
You're gonna
if you knew, I don't want to speak for Roger, but I mean, within the next, between now and our next council meeting,
Right. That's,
you
That would be
decent.
great.
Okay, I could
might be able
do that.
to
That's
pull
very
something,
doable.
something together. I mean, and I agree with Councilman Stewart. We for sure don't need to get anybody out there and get them hurt.
Yeah, because I do know in talking with some of the guys that have been down there are some unsafe issues
Well.
down there that do need to be addressed at a minimum, so.
So,
And there
But
again,
let's
it's
do
just-
that. We'll do it as two pieces. We'll do it as, here's what it would take to fix what's here, and then here's some various options that we can do to add 10 additional
And there
spaces.
again, it's just not us high on the hog. I mean, Jonathan Ackland, they have a large turnout down there. They use all that electrical service, so does the Take a Kid, and I'm sure there's others. It's just not gonna benefit just us. It's gonna benefit the city park.
Okay.
We can go ahead and have a motion on the co-sponsorship and then do the electrical
Yeah.
next month.
Okay,
Sure.
appreciate that.
Is that a motion?
I'll go ahead and make a motion to that, yes. It's,
second.
we co-sponsor the Howell and the Hog for 2012.
They've got a motion by Councilman Spencer to continue to be a co-sponsor for the year 2012, second by Councilman Hart. Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Do we need to be on the agenda for next time?
You will be.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll put you on.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Mayor, if I may,
Thank y'all.
before we move on, do you think it'd be more appropriate for us to address this issue at the work session instead of having Roger come back to the meeting?
Well,
It could
it'll be on the agenda,
It'll be on there.
but we'll have to vote actually at the
Yeah.
council.
Yeah, I know, I just want to make
Yeah.
sure.
Certainly need to discuss
Explain
it.
everything there so we can save time.
Yeah, right.
That would be great.
Okay. Okay, that concludes addresses, presentations. We'll go to unfinished business. Approval of minutes of the October 11th regular council meeting. Be the will of the council.
Move for approval.
A motion to approve by Councilman Spencer, second by Councilman Hart. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by aye. Opposed, no. Minutes stand approved. We'll move to new business. And item A is the first reading of ordinance 937, amending beer ordinance 890.
An ordinance to amend Title 8, Chapter 2 of the Winchester Municipal Code by adding paragraph B to Section 8.207 TIPS Program Certification. Section 8.207 consists of each applicant shall certify in its application for a beer license that all persons selling beer for off-premises consumption shall be certified through the TIPS program, and that all future sales employees will continue to be certified.
Okay, council, you've heard the first reading of ordinance 937. Be the will of the council. Motion to approve by Councilman Wama,
Second.
second by Councilman Stewart. I've got a question. Just for the benefit of everyone here, TIPS, what does that stand for?
Let me look at it.
Okay.
It's part of the coalition.
Yeah, it's,
Right.
Training.
This training that
It's-
Tabitha was up here the other day talked about.
Sounds good.
training for intervention procedures.
Maybe we should put that in parentheses next to TIPS inside that ordinance, so future reference, somebody will know what that is. Sure. Put you on the spot.
What this, the TIPS training does, it meets the state certification under the Responsible Vendor Act. That is part of our beer ordinance, and what the beer board, I'm speaking for Wayne, this training, we never had the training here locally for people to be available. We do have it here locally now, available, and where the business owners and their establishments can make it mandatory for their employees to do that. And it's an educational effort that the beer board thought might be beneficial and to curtail underage beer sales, by forcing them to become certified under state law under the Responsible Vendor Act, basically.
Okay. Okay. Councilman Hart, do you have any?
Yeah, we feel as a beer board that this is a new step to a new generation of education rather than just fines. That, and the people that were called last time, all of them that were at the beer board meeting, supported it and thought it was a good idea. And so we continue with it, and we feel like it's in the best interest, not only of the store owners, but the citizens, the young people of Winchester, that we enact this and pass it and go with it for a training session and go along with the beer license.
Okay. Any other discussion? This will be a roll call. Ms. Roden?
Councilman Stewart. Councilman Bale. Councilman Hart.
Aye.
Councilman Spencer.
Aye.
Councilman Wong.
Okay. First reading passes.
Thank you.
Item B is Resolution 826, Enhancement Grant.
A resolution for the City of Winchester to apply for grant funds through the Tennessee Department of Transportation's Enhancement Program to implement Phase 5 of the Winchester Downtown Revitalization Project. Whereas the Tennessee Department of Transportation has funds available through the Transportation Enhancement Program to assist communities in implementing transportation improvement projects. And whereas there exists a need to implement Phase 5 of the Winchester Downtown Revitalization Project in order to improve pedestrian and motorized transportation. And whereas the proposed improvements will include construction of walkways through the community to provide significant linkages to government offices, recreational facilities, retail stores, and residential neighborhoods. And whereas the City of Winchester wishes to apply for said project with Tennessee Transportation Enhancement Program funds. Now therefore be it resolved that 1, the mayor be authorized and directed to execute and submit an application for funds to the Tennessee Department of Transportation in the amount of $1,180,922.40. The mayor be authorized and directed to enter into all necessary agreements to receive and administer such grant funds. 3, the anticipated total cost of the project, $1,476,153. The matching contribution of $295,230.60, or 20% of the total project cost, will be provided by funds from the City of Winchester. Passed and so ordered the 8th day of November.
Council, you've heard the reading of Resolution 826. It's the will of the council.
Move to approve.
Okay, a motion to approve by Councilman Stewart,
Second.
second by Councilman Spencer. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution 826 passes. Panel of physicians, Ms. Broden.
Under the Federal Workers' Comp Acts, there is a requirement that we have to have a panel of physicians for the City of Winchester. We actually had one established on November 14th, 1995, and some of those physicians have recently changed, and we need to get the board approval on the new ones. Dr. James Stinsby, which has been on there previously, Dr. Stephen Summershield has agreed to serve, and Karen Mays, MSN NPC, working under the supervision of Dr. Walker, has agreed. And we just need a vote to put those 3 on that panel of physicians.
Okay, be the will of the council.
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, a motion to approve by Councilman Stewart, second by Councilman Bell. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item D is approval of specs for equipment van for the fire department. Chief Greason.
I had left this little sketch out. I showed y'all the work session. I thought I had put it in the pack when I was going back through mine. I realized I hadn't, so I apologize for that. In your package, you found the specs for a new equipment van, which we had budgeted for this year. It's pretty straightforward. It's to replace the equipment van we have now, which is an '89 model. There will be actually two different bids will come in on this. One for the chassis, and then you'll have one for just the body and the additional shelving and locker storage and all. For y'all that's not familiar with the equipment van, that's pretty much one of our bread and butter vehicles. It carries everything for our volunteer firemen and then several of the full-time men. Also, we have it set up where we do rehab and all on scene, especially during the hot weather's days, and so it basically makes every call. The specs are pretty much straightforward. The chassis we're looking at is a diesel. We're trying to get away from the gasoline engines just simply for durability purposes. We have gone in and highlighted a couple things in case the bid does come in a little high that we could opt not to include on it. But the way everything looks right now, and talking with several different dealers, we feel like this is a very competitive spec sheet. The first sheet you see attached is just what the people that actually install the body and put it all together are quotes that you ask to be on the chassis. Just
it just makes it a lot easier and a lot more cost efficient once you get to actually putting it together. So what we're asking for is to be able to put these specs out and entertain some sealed bids on it. I talked with Ms. Roten, and our idea was, because this is it's took several months just to get this spec sheet together to show to y'all. So we're looking at maybe having the sealed bids, a deadline maybe like December 2nd, and then that would put us able to do the opening of the bid somewhere around the next week, which would be our workshop, and then we could put it on the agenda for the following week for the council meeting. The sheet I handed you is a basic layout that we've come. Well, it's the layout that we're going with for the inside.
And your specs, you think, will come within the budget?
Actually, the way I'm looking at it and talking to people, I think we're going to come in under budget on it.
I got one question, Gary.
Yes, sir.
On page 2, about middle of the page, it shows black cloth. I'm assuming that's a seat. Is that right? Is that what that is? Are you having cloth seats in this? It says 8-inch S/back mag 200 black cloth with arms. About
That's
middle
what
of
it
the
says.
page.
I had actually told we wanted to put vinyl in there simply for the durability
Well,
and
that's-
cleanup
yeah, I mean,
purposes.
that's what I was thinking too, so.
I will definitely amend that, because we definitely don't want cloth seats in there. Thank you for catching it there.
I had one question also, Gary, and I'm sure you checked this out. Will that, with all the things you're putting in here, will that standard wiring carry everything?
Yes, sir. Actually, Councilman Bell, what the way we're going this time, you know how before they bought just a basic bread truck and then they adapted it. This is actually wired and set up to handle everything that's there, and the emergency lighting and everything is installed at the factory. That way we don't get in some of the issues I know that you was aware of with our other van that we've had. So it'll all be set up to handle that.
It looks like something we can be proud of.
I think if it lasts as long as this one did, I won't have to worry about it
Be after your time.
for a while. I'll let somebody else worry about it.
Did you let your fellow firemen go in with you?
Yes, sir. I've let all the, especially the guys that are real close with the maintenance program. In fact, before we ever started putting this together, I said, guys, write down some ideas you have of what we need, what we're looking for, what y'all feel like we're going to need to function a little cleaner and a little better. And that's how we actually come into narrowing this down to what we have here. Yes, sir. And I think actually there may be one or two of the firemen that I have not caught to let them look at this actual spec sheet. But,
Okay, Council.
How long to delivery?
well, that's going to be like,
Several months?
yeah, probably. The really thing's going to hinge on where the chassis gets there. So right now, this particular company that I worked with on some of the finer points of the spec sheet said maybe mid-April for a delivery date.
Did they deliver this? Or do we go get it?
I'm going to call in the morning and ask about that. I meant to mention that. I've got that in my notes.
Yeah.
Because now the chassis is drop shipped to the company that builds it. But I need to find out for sure whether we're going to have to go and get it. Are they going to flatbed it? Is that an additional cost or what? Yes, sir.
Right.
Okay, Council, you've heard the request from Chief Greason in regards to approval of the specs for the equipment van. Would be the will of the council.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Stewart, second by Councilman Bell. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
One other question, Mayor, is the dates as far as the close the bids and everything, does that all sound okay to everybody as far as getting it in by the next council meeting? That'll give them almost a month to get the.
I mean, is that, I mean, I would think that's reasonable if someone has a desire to bid, yeah.
Okay.
Ought to be lots of people wanting to bid. Economy the way it
Week
is.
might be enough.
Item E is appointments to Historical Committee. Councilman Spencer?
Mayor, the Historical Committee would like to ask the council to approve, and they'd like to appoint Duncan Weddington to the Historical Committee. Add Duncan Weddington.
Okay. And you put his name in the form of a motion? for
Yes,
that
I'll
appointment?
make that.
Okay. Okay, we've got a motion for appointment of Duncan Weddington to the Historical Committee.
Second.
Second by Councilman Womack. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item L, appointment to the Beer Board. Councilman Hart.
We have a vacancy on the beer board, and the beer board unanimously feels like that we'd like to nominate Ms. Shannon Rogers for the bid to fill the vacancy on the beer board. I make a nomination that she be appointed.
Okay, I've got a motion, Councilman Hart, to appoint Shannon Rogers to the Beer Board.
Second.
Second by Councilman Spencer. Ms. Rogers is with us this evening. Welcome. Thank you for having a desire to serve. Thank you. Any discussion on this? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Welcome aboard.
We feel she did good, Mayor.
Item G is appointment to the Utility Board. This is mayoral appointment. Roger and I have talked about 2 or 3 different names and have agreed on James Danny Smith, retired educator in Franklin County. I've served on 911 with him and consolidated communications with him, and find him to be very dedicated to whatever board that he may be on, and I know that he'll serve the utility board well. So that would be my recommendation to the appointment to the utility board.
Mayor, I'd like to move to approve Danny Smith to the Winchester Utility Board.
Okay, I've got a motion by Councilman Spencer, second by Councilman Hart. Is there any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Christmas bonus for employees. Ms. Roten.
City of Winchester in past years has given a Christmas bonus to our employees. Last year it was $250, and I would request on all the employees' behalf, full-time and permanent part-time, that you agree to give them the $250 bonus. I'd like to mention that it is in the budget.
Okay. Council, you've heard the request from Ms. Roten for a Christmas bonus.
Move to approve.
Motion by Councilman Stewart,
Second.
second by Councilman Spencer. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carried. Item I is Industrial Board. Ms. Roten.
Yes, we have been working with an industry outside of our jurisdiction that's interested in coming to Winchester, and while working with them, it's brought to our attention that there is a USDA loan available. And in working in that loan process, it was brought to our attention that any monies that we receive through that loan would have to flow through an industrial board. It will also have to flow through a public utility, and we have worked closely with Winchester Utilities, and they did get certified in order to help us with this process. And we looked at going in with our county industrial board. That's not an option for this loan. We will not qualify. The city of Winchester does have an industrial development board for the city of Winchester that was enacted in December of 1974. It's been inactive for some time. We have kept it, its certifications and everything good with the Secretary of State's office if ever need be. I would request, just to clarify, give me the opportunity to activate this board again for this industry and any process that we may need to go through.
Okay, council, you've heard the request from Ms. Roten in regard to the industrial board. Be the will of the council.
Move to approve.
Motion to approve by Councilman Stewart.
Second.
Second by Councilman Hart. Any discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay, that concludes our business. We'll move into communications. I'll save mine until the end of the meeting, and we'll go into council communications. Councilman Stewart?
Have nothing.
Councilman Bell?
Nothing.
Okay. Councilman Hart?
I want to thank Chief Young for helping us with the beer board and the stuff we've been doing here lately, and the coalition group, and all the merchants that participated in it and put their input in to help us come up with some new ideas, and we thank you.
Okay. Councilman Spencer?
I'd like to, Mayor, mention that the Historical Committee and the, working with the WDPC, has started putting the plaques around the square, the historical plaques, and which identify the locations and the buildings, and we're already getting a lot of nice feedback from those, and real happy to have those going up.
Okay. Signs look nice. A little history. Take time to look at them. Councilman Womack?
I just want to say it's time for the shopping season for Christmas, and everybody's spending money at home. We need the taxes here to keep our land taxes down.
Okay. Thank you, council. Ms. Roten?
I have one item that was not brought to my attention till today, so it did not make the agenda. We had a local waste management company that has chosen to not do business in Winchester anymore, just because of the downturn of the economy. That has caused a little bit of problem for, I know of one particular business, restaurant, that is having trouble having a location for a dumpster. I think I relieved the problem temporarily by allowing a dumpster to go in a city parking lot until we could resolve the problem at a future time. So I will have some possible suggestions to help solve that problem. It is in our downtown area at our next work session, but I did somewhat make an executive decision to solve the problem today, and that'll come back before y'all next month.
Okay. Thank you. Department heads, any reports? Okay. Take this opportunity to welcome Representative Alexander. Happy to have you here with us this evening. Appreciate your attendance. Anything from anyone else? Okay. I've got a prepared statement that I want to read, if I may.
Everybody get ready.
Okay. Peter, you ready? Okay. A few months ago, in midsummer, the city of Winchester discovered some discrepancies in its accounting. Immediately following these discrepancies were discovered, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation and the Tennessee Office of Comptroller were contacted, and an investigation was requested. The charges that are facing our former finance director for the city, Ms. Faye Morrow, are a direct result of this investigation. These charges include one count of theft over $60,000, 2 counts of official misconduct, 1 count of forgery, and 1 count of tampering with governmental records. The city is cooperating fully with all agencies and will proceed with all possible avenues, both civil and criminal, to receive full restitution. That concludes my statement, and I have copies for the press if they'd like that. To give one to Deidre. Thank you, Jan.
You okay?
All right?
The carpet, yeah.
Okay.
There goes another lawsuit.
Let's get flashed.
That concludes our meeting. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion to adjourn by Councilman Stewart.
Second.
Second by Councilman Hart. All those in favor, aye. Opposed, no. Motion carries.